Hello and welcome to another weekly quick quiz battle. We are doing a World Cup related quiz. So this is actually from 25th of November, so it's not at the end of the World Cup, it's during the World Cup, just before the start of it. No, it's during, wasn't it?
Yeah, weekend.
So this is World Cup winners, losers, scorers and songs.
Wow.
So 10 questions, multiple choice, write down your answer and we'll go through them at the end. Are you both ready?
Present.
Yeah.
Okay, question 1. The 32 teams at the World Cup have each chosen a song to be played when they score. Which goal music was chosen by 3 teams, including England? Seven Nation Army by the White Stripes, Nobody Else Will Be There by the National, Freed From Desire by Gala, or Bat Out of Hell by Queer Giraffes?
Oh, the one I thought was going to read didn't come out. Say them again.
Seven Nation Army by the White Stripes, Nobody Else Will Be There by the National, Freed From Desire by Gala, and Bat Out of Hell by Queer Giraffes.
No idea.
Right, question number 2. There were 3 Rugby League World Cup finals in Manchester last weekend. So it's not all football World Cup, just World Cup in general. Which of them was not won by Australia? The men's, the women's, or the wheelchair? Question number 3. How many minutes of injury time were played in the England versus Iran match at the World Cup in Qatar? 19, 23, 27, or 32?
How many injury minutes?
How many minutes of injury time in total were played in the England versus Iran match at the World Cup in Qatar? 19, 23, 27, or 32?
Yeah.
Question 4. Ireland are top of the world rankings in men's rugby union after a sensational run of victories. They've played 9 countries this year, beating 8 of them. Which team did they not beat in 2022? New Zealand, South Africa, France, or Australia? Sorry, it's New Zealand, South Africa, Australia, France. I just read them the wrong way around then, just in case you're writing COD when you write the wrong one down. Question number 5. What was notable about the first goal of the World Cup in Qatar? The player who scored it was competing against the country where he was born. It was the first opening goal scored from the penalty spot. It was the first opening goal scored from outside the box. It was the first time the opening goal has been a header. I know who scored it, I'm trying to remember what it was.
Give us the options again.
The player who scored it was competing against the country where he was born. It was the first opening goal from the penalty spot, the first opening goal scored from outside the box, or the first opening goal which was a header. Question number 6. Argentina, one of the favourites to win the World Cup, lost their first game in Qatar. Who were the last team to win the World Cup after losing their first game? West Germany in 1974, France in 1998, Spain in 2010, or it never happened?
Options again. Sorry, I was just changing my answer to the previous one.
West Germany 1974, France 98, Spain in 2010, or it's never happened. Question 7. 15 players made it onto the pitch for Brazil against Serbia in their opening match of the World Cup. How many of them play for Premier League clubs? 5, 7, 9, or 11? So how many Brazilian players out of the 15 play in Premier League?
How about the 15?
Yeah, so 15 players played for Brazil in their opening game. But how many of them play for Premier League clubs? 5, 7, 9, or 11?
I'll stick that.
Question 8. Christine Sinclair and Marta have done it in the women's game. Who, as of this week, has done it in the men's game? Gavi, Cristiano Ronaldo, Richarlison, or Marcus Rashford? Question number 9. Which of the 32 teams in Qatar has never scored a goal at the World Cup in this edition or any previous tournament? Wales, Canada, Costa Rica, or Ecuador?
Can you read that question again, Ty?
Which of the 32 teams in Qatar has never scored a goal at the World Cup, either in this one or any previous tournaments? Wales, Canada, Costa Rica, or Ecuador? And final question. Spain's 7-0 win over Costa Rica takes them into an exclusive group of countries who have scored more than 100 goals at World Cup finals. Which country has conceded the most goals at World Cups with a total of 127 goals? Brazil, Mexico, England, or Germany? Okay, you ready for some answers?
Yeah.
Okay, question number 1. 32 teams all each chose a song that they played when they scored, and 3 teams selected the same one, including England. Which song was it? Will?
I wrote the one by The National. I didn't know.
Tom?
I put A, Seven Nation Army.
So I was between A or C, because I know Freed From Desire has been used a lot, and I went for A as well. But the correct answer is C, Freed From Desire by Gala.
Oh. I thought it was Sweet Caroline, but I must have been thinking of something else.
Yeah, I thought that's the one they would have voted for.
Yeah. Question 2. There were 3 Rugby League World Cup finals in Manchester, but which one was not won by Australia? Tom?
I've gone wheelchair.
I've gone wheelchair. Will?
Yeah, I think that was won by England, wasn't it?
It was indeed. Beat France 28-24 in the final.
Yeah.
Question 3. How many minutes of injury time were played in the England versus Iran match at the World Cup? I went 27. Will?
I went 27.
I went 27.
I know there was like 15 or so in the first half, wasn't there? So we are all correct. It's 27.
I know because I was having a vasectomy and I came out and then it was still playing. I was like, oh, good news.
Here you go.
We need to talk about that on the podcast. So mine just for that for next one.
2023.
There's a dedication for you.
Question 4. Ireland at the top of the world rankings in men's rugby union, but which team did they not beat in 2022? Will?
France.
Tom?
I've gone France, but
I've
Not
also gone
sure.
France because I'm pretty sure France beat them in the Six Nations.
Six Nations, yeah.
France is correct answer.
Oh,
hello.
run here.
I need to keep track of scores, actually. How many are you on, Will? 3?
3. I got the first one wrong.
Tom?
Same.
Yeah, we're all on 3. Question 5. What was notable about the first goal of the World Cup in Qatar? Tom?
I've gone with the A. That looks right.
Player who scored it was competing in a country where he was born. Will?
Yeah.
That would mean it was a Qatari-born player
Playing for
scoring
Ecuador.
for Ecuador. It's more likely
Yeah.
to be the other way around. So I think it must have been outside the box because I think the second goal was a header. I forget the striker's name. The bloke used to play for Everton, wasn't it?
Enna Valencia it was.
Yeah.
I think the first goal might have been outside the box, and then I didn't. The second goal wasn't the second goal a header, so I went outside the box.
So I've gone penalty because I'm pretty sure the first one was a penalty.
Oh well, that was the other option.
The correct answer is penalty.
Oh, the second goal was a header, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Second one was.
Oh, I was between. Yeah, went for the wrong one.
Question 6. Argentina, one of the favourites to win the World Cup, lost their first game. Who were the last team to win the World Cup after losing their first game? I said it's never happened. Tom?
I wanted to go, it never happened, but I went with West Germany.
Will?
What? When you say it never happened, I thought Maradona's '86 team lost their first game. So
They
I
were
thought
one of the options.
They were one of the options. So.
yeah, but
It's a
the most recent one, therefore, I thought must have happened since then. So I went France '98.
We are all incorrect. It was, in fact, Spain were beaten by Switzerland 1-0, which I'd forgotten about.
Hey,
Yeah.
2010.
Forgotten that. Question 7. How many Brazil players of the 15 that played in their opening game played for Premier League clubs? Will?
Well, I wanted to say that I heard that 7 of the starting lineup were Premier League players, so I stuck with 7. But you did add subs, so it could have gone up to something like 9. But I've gone for 7.
Tom?
No idea. I went 7.
I went 9 because I thought it might have gone up with subs. Correct answer is 9.
Yeah, robbed.
Can you name them?
It was Jesus and
The Charlison.
no, that came on.
They came on.
And Casemiro, whatever his name is, the Man United bloke.
Yeah, so you got Alisson, Thiago Silva, Casemiro, Fred and Anthony, Lucas Paqueta, Richarlison, Gabriel Jesus and Gabriel Martinelli. There you go. Question 8. Christine Sinclair and Martha have done it in the women's game, but who as of this week has done it in the men's game? Tom?
Gone with Ronaldo because I think it's to do with consecutive World Cups that they've scored in.
I've gone Ronaldo as well because I think it is scoring at 5 World Cups, I think it was. Well,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I got Ronaldo either playing in or scoring in multiple World Cups.
correct answer. They've all scored at 5 World Cups.
Yeah.
There you go.
Question 9. Which of the 32 teams in Qatar has never scored a goal at the World Cup? I went Canada.
I went Canada.
Went Canada.
Pretty sure that's right. We are all correct.
They did score at this tournament, didn't they? In the end,
They did. They did indeed. And last
That's
question.
why it confused me a bit because I knew that they had scored, but obviously it was
This was
when
before.
this was
Yeah.
done. Yeah.
Last question. So just to make it not interesting, I've got 7. You've both got 5. So playing for pride. Spain 7-0 win over Costa Rica takes them into an exclusive group of countries who have scored more than 100 goals. But who has conceded the most goals at World Cups? Well,
I figure they need to have played a lot of games and been in it a lot, so I went Brazil.
I went Brazil. Tom?
Can't remember. There's one of the options. England.
England were one of the options. We are all incorrect. The team that got thumped Brazil 7-1. Actually, Germany have actually conceded 231 goals in the World Cup.
Wow.
It's a lot of goals, but they have played probably in pretty much everyone. So there you go.
Yeah, and they've often got to the final, so
Yeah. So,
you can concede some goals along the way.
so there you go. Final scores. I'm on Will with 5 each. I've got 7.
Yeah.
That is
Nice.
correct.
Nice way to finish the year.
Yeah,
I've
great.
halted my finishing last streak anyway.
You're welcome.
You still haven't won. In 20, I don't know if it's 2022 or not, but you haven't won one for a long time. So,
No.
so yeah, never mind, Tom. Well, maybe next year.
Yeah.
Next year. Cool. There you go. Thanks for watching, everyone. We'll be back same time next week, maybe next year, maybe with another weekly quick quiz battle. But until then, cheerio.
Bye.
But